Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Elephant Exposed. I am your host, Mr. CJ Jones, aka Mr. TNTBS. And we won't have our co host, Mr. Dwayne Stinson, with us this evening because he is deserving a well deserved and well earned family vacation. So we wish him all the best while he is enjoying his time off today. Before I get started with my reactionary video to of this evening, I want to say thank you to our brand new 2 subscribers. We have Mr. Terry Johnson and also Star Child NC. Thank you so much, love, that you are have for me and for supporting what I do. And thank you for what you do. And let's go ahead and just get this party started. Now, I must admit um, one thing to you guys. When I first saw this, I tried to always find myself um, try to gather as many facts as I can um, before I begin to speak on things because I don't want to give you anything halfway. And so when I first saw it, I was a bit set back, but then it's just kind of like when you first get over the initial shock of anything, after a while you begin to go back and reanalyze it again, and then come that your perspective just it might change. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and run this, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. Here we go.
An entire police force. Imagine it happening in your community. The entire police force quits. It seems unheard of. This force says that they cannot work with the town manager, Justine Jones, who has just been on the job for about a month, newly hired. Kinley is the town we're talking about here. It's roughly about 2,400 people, and they're probably wondering, okay, who's going to protect us? Who's going to serve and protect if the entire police force walks out? Nick is here with more on this story. Nick, this caught my attention.
It caught your attention, Adrian, because you don't usually hear about a police force just walking off of the job. A North Carolina town, the entire police department has put in their 2 weeks notice that they're out.
So now that we have the premise about what's going on, now you guys can see how I was kind of taken back at first, because I'm like, okay, a whole entire police force just says, okay, bump it. And so, of course, and by it being right here in my home state of North Carolina, and yeah, I do take pride in where I am from. So that really got my attention because I'm like, okay, it's already bad enough that, you know, nationally people think uh this is like Trump city and stuff over here, and no ma'am, no sir, no ham, no burger. um Not exactly. We have blue areas and very solid blue areas, and where I'm from, it is solidly blue. So that's not even the point. The point is this right here, guys. This is almost unheard of. It does happen, but to this scale, I really wanted to speak on this. So let's go ahead and let them dive into it.
This is a shock. You know, when a small town like this, and all of a sudden, the people that you've known for all these years, and that says, I'm out of here.
The prospect of no police protection is the talk of the town in tiny Kinley, North Carolina.
Listen, we have a great police department. Okay. She is not for our police department.
The entire police force handing in their resignation letter last week, hinting at a hostile work environment. On Facebook, Police Chief Josh Gibson specifically blamed town manager Justine Jones, but he didn't spell out what he believes she's doing wrong. 2 town clerks also.
So right now, with that first person, I don't know who that person was. Evidently that person wasn't special. I guess they were just a resident of the town of Kinley, the one that made that exclamation of they have a great police department, and basically um she's just not in agreement with it. You can not be in agreement with someone. That's what makes you the professional. What makes you the professional is this: I don't necessarily agree with everything you say and do, but there's a larger picture that uh we have to make sure that we do all agree on, and that is the betterment of our community. That's the larger picture. So for this police department to basically say, hey, um, we all just gonna quit just because we don't like or we don't care for, that's not a legitimate and concreted found reason um to call it quits. Let's continue.
Leaving their posts. Others in the community seem to think Jones may be on the right track.
We just want to support the town manager who has been doing a good job. Um, and you just want to make sure the process is fair, whatever's done.
The town hired Jones last month after considering 30 candidates in a nationwide search. In a news release announcing their decision, Kinley's leaders praised Jones for her progressively responsible positions over 16 years in government.
Okay, so those are your context clues right there. Now, not only is Ms. Jones is very well qualified to be the town's manager, but she was chosen out of 30 candidates nationwide. That means they could have chose anybody to fulfill this position. So evidently no one had a problem with her resume. And we as a community run into this a whole lot, where on paper everybody loves you, everybody feels like you're qualified and everything else, until they see you walk in the door. And whenever they walk, and then when you walk in the door, then suddenly the narrative changes.
Town council held an emergency meeting behind closed doors Friday to map out what happens next. The mayor emerged saying nothing had been resolved.
So we are where we were. The town still has a patrol. We still have police coverage.
Now, Adrian, it is important to note that Kinley has 3 part-time officers still on the payroll, but the local county police are offering to pitch in if needed. The community will have an opportunity to air its concerns about the shakeup during another emergency meeting later this week. And of course, News Nation will continue to follow this story.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
All right. So there we have it. So let's go ahead and put this thing together, guys. All right. So first, we have this town manager that's well qualified to help run this small town here in North Carolina. And they are calling her stance, and basically I can just imagine that she's a no nonsense type of individual. She's a mover, she's a shaker, because they are calling her a progressive. She's a very progressive individual. Well, when I just even think about the word progressive, that means that you are forward thinking, and there's nothing wrong with that. And basically what it is that it sounds like to me that these individuals in law enforcement, talking from the patrolman to the chief of police, they are not used to uh not only a progressive thinker, but let's just go ahead and expose the elephant. A black woman being in charge and over them and probably holding them accountable and probably holding them accountable for the things that they are lacking and slacking in. But that's the job of a town manager, to help keep those checks and balances, to hold these former now uh police officers was they she was going to hold their feet to the fire, and that's what you want. That's what you want in a police department. So um so not only is she's getting support from the community, but she is also receiving support, or she will be receiving support from the county and filling in those blank spots. Now again, um in further research, you would realize that this is I want to say it's the 8 squad police department, and 3 are part-time police officers, and they are still on the payroll. So basically, if she hasn't already got those 5 positions filled, those 5 positions that are vacant, now she has a chance to really fill those spots in with people, with officers that are truly going to be above reproach, for officers that don't mind being held accountable for their actions, true professionals, people that take their jobs seriously and professionally, and they don't mind um just doing their job with couth in class, because that's what it's about. I'm not going to speculate as to um what the officers were like before, but I'll just say it like this: birds of a feather flock together. And looking at what was going on between the rift between the chief of police and the new town manager, Mrs. Jones, um, there were some problems there, whether it was have to do with race and or sex and or both. And of course, um, the town manager ain't going nowhere. So they are made, so the chief of police, along with his 8 other squad officers, decided to go ahead, put in their 2 weeks notice. They said, I just can't work with her no more. Okay, then bye-bye. You just made it easier. And it makes it easier because that's what is needed. If you have a problem with being held accountable, if you have a problem with checks and balances, which is supposed to be in there, okay? If you have a problem with people being in authority and they're doing their job the right way, from what I saw, from what I researched, there was nothing wrong that this particular town manager was doing. She was doing her job, period. In the town's police officers, the former town's police officers, they just couldn't take it. And you have people like that in the world. You have people like that. I'm not mad at them. I would rather for you to get so upset that you just have to step down and step away than for you to continue to try to lie, duck, and hide, or try to put on a mask and pretend that you're somebody that you're not. And then later on, we catch you. And, that elephant is exposed. And now we really know what your issue was. Yes. So I say to for the original police officers that volunteered and retired, I say thank you. We appreciate it. Now, let's all get in support of this new town manager, Mrs. Jones, and get her the officers that she so desperately need and that are absolutely wanted in the town of Kinley. And with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up. That's all I have to say. I do want to know how you guys feel about it. And maybe it was your first time hearing it. And if it's not, I want to know that too. And if you continue, and if you would like to continue to hear me speak on topics like this, let me know. If it is your first time watching me, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and hit that bell so you will always know that I got new videos coming up for you in the future. With that being said, I'm out of here. You guys take care.